In Fort Wayne, Indiana, a city known for wars against United States troops and Native American tribes, holds a different kind of haunting as well. A house that, for as long as the residents can remember, offered multiple cases of unexplained paranormal activity. Why this house holds so many unexplained occurrences still remains unknown.
When you walk in the house the very first time, you're like, okay, I don't get it. You know, this is just a normal house. But by the time you leave, you're scratching your head like, I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe I just witnessed that. I can't believe all this happened in this house.
But as owners lived and passed, their spirits add on to the new spiritual family that reside here. Nick and Bree currently own the home and introduced it to the paranormal world to experience the energy inside. Growing up, Nick became greatly appreciative and attached to this home, simply because it was different from the constant jumping around from rental property to rental property.
My family and I grew up here. It's been a loving home for 30 plus years for us. We've always had activity here, odd things, always. You know, certain places of the house, you ran in, you ran out.
Though Nick loved the home, he and his family still knew the odd occurrences that happened inside.
You know, we've always dealt with the paranormal, so it was no big deal to us. We didn't think our house was like haunted. You know, we knew things were here. We thought maybe the one lady upstairs was the previous owner that passed away.
Bree, a psychic medium who started a relationship with Nick, sensed something off about the home upon entering.
Well, the first time I came here, I was getting ready to do a 3-week trip out on the East Coast for what I do. And Nick brought me here to meet his mom. I come in and I could feel the energies that were moving in the home. I could feel that it was a loving home, but I could definitely feel that there was a couple of people that weren't, you know, in flesh form like we are.
Though the presence was unnatural to the physical world, she could tell that it wasn't harmful by any means. In fact, the first spiritual presence that she sensed was that of Nick's stepfather, Don, who passed away and seemed to have come back to live in the home.
They started talking about his stepdad, you know, made a couple of references, and I'm seeing this man standing in front of me, and he's talking to me, and he's telling me he likes me, even pats me on the top of my head, like, I'm like, who is this man? But I just met his mom, and I'm like, I don't want to be like, so who's the man standing in front of me? You know, like, I didn't want to make it weird, and I didn't know how they would receive that. But the more that I got to know his family, and, you know, the more I started coming back, it's like more the spirits that would be, you know, like whether they're coming in off the street or whether you want to call me a beacon of light because they know that they can talk to me.
Though family members and previous owners still reside here, there's a deeper level of traveling spirits and residual spirits.
When we moved Mom out, though, it was like you could feel the energy shift, like not in a bad way, but it was like Mom was out and it's almost like more people were coming in to the home. Like what was already here was making itself more known. The first time we investigated as a family, like seeing the busyness, and you know, I could tell some of it's residual. Like you could tell that it wasn't anybody from the family, you know, like it was like that energy pattern, that loop, that energy loop that they're leaving. And then some of it was quite intelligent, you know, responding, having a conversation with me. It was quite fascinating.
It's possible that with the wars and the history of Fort Wayne, combined with a house that is described as loving by so many people, this clash of emotions can create an off-balance environment, possibly being part of the reason on why there is said to be a vortex in the bedroom in the basement.
Now, what I have seen and other mediums that have come in have actually seen themselves, and it's so cool. Actually, I'm curious. Yeah, will you stand right here for me? Wait. Yep, right there. And I'm just curious, do you feel anything yourself?
My legs feel heavy. Weird, like gravity's almost like only on the lower half though.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. So that's a portal.
Is it?
You're standing in the middle of the portal. Yeah. When I've done tours where I've actually had somebody stand there and it looked like they got their knees kicked out.
Yeah.
Like they actually collapsed.
Upper half I feel fine.
It's the bottom.
It's like there down.
And you get like this like fun house, like almost tilt-a-whirl type effect. Yeah.
That's really
You're
strange.
standing on the portal.
It's really strange.
I've had 2 interesting dreams where they were very interactive with past loved ones. And they both the dreams I started off in this room. So one of the days she came over to visit Mom, I said, hey, when you get here, go in that back room and tell me what you feel. And she came home, she's like, that room's fucked up.
Well, like, not only did I find the portal, I was like, oh my God, there's a portal. I was like, there's something else we need to find. And he's like, what do you mean? So when I walked in the room, I was standing not even here, and I hear a woman distinctly in my ear, look for the vortex. Now, I've been to hundreds of haunted locations. Never felt, never heard vortex. And I'm like, what? So like, I go home and I'm telling him about it. I'm like, we need to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, this isn't just your portal. Like, there's more to this. And we've actually had other people come in and actually validate it. And I'll show you where it's at in a little bit. The vortex is about 5 feet wide across, and it actually comes in from the wall down here, and it runs straight through. A lot of people, when they do Estes, they'll actually sit in the middle of the vortex, and they say that they feel like it's water. Like you can feel a current moving with you.
We're here to further document on who these traveling spirits are, how many past owners are still here, and are there any messages that need to be said. Prior to our investigation, we decided to live stream as we gather B-roll footage. However, we were interrupted by extremely relevant responses that completely shaped the entire investigation. Approximately 3 minutes after setting up, we have one of our cat balls activate.
Whoa, there we go. Alright. Are you getting more comfortable with us?
We then try to debunk the capture by having Jack stomp directly around the cat balls.
See, I was
That's-
right behind it to make that go.
It shows that it works, but you saw how he was stomping that.
But though the cat ball activity may indicate that something is around us, the compelling evidence doesn't start until after we ask this question when using the Ovilus 3.
You can give him a word that means a lot to you, something that's meaningful.
Remarkably, the one characteristic that was mentioned over and over again is the one word we get when we ask the spirit to say a word that's important to it.
Loving.
Oh, dude.
Dude, this is a loving house.
The K2 meter, a device that measures changes in EMF, something that spirits are said to be related to, also goes off, making this the third piece of equipment we have confirm our presence. And finally, as we're wrapping up the live, we capture this name.
Dawn! Dude, it said Dawn.
Dawn
Dawn is the
was.
stepdad.
He's the stepdad.
Don't be surprised if Don comes through. He does like to say hi.
Okay.
He does like to watch over the house, so nothing to be fearful of. He's like, I'm here. Like, this is my home.
We quickly set up and begin our first session by conducting a spirit box session in hopes to hear the spirit's voice in real time.
Hey, Dawn, is this easier? It is.
It is.
Alright. Dawn, were you the one touching that green light, or was that something else?
Let's say Nick. Cheerios?
Cheerios? Is that what you heard?
Yeah.
Like Cheerios? Like the cereal?
Yeah. Over several frequencies.
I mean, it was like 3 frequencies. I don't know if it's a... Did you say Cheerios? Honey roast.
Are you Honey roasted Cheerios? Dawn, was that your favorite cereal? I used to load mine up with sugar. Did you ever?
Did you... Said something about eat. That said honey roast.
That 100% said honey roasted. We're talking to a spirit about cereal.
Of not that long ago either, though. The honey roast... It's the most? It's the most? What? I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But I don't like it with milk. I like it dry.
It's weird because it's like she was saying earlier, it's like you're in a home with family, talking.
Yeah.
That's like what we're doing. We're talking about cereal.
Yeah.
Like
it's
what
just
you
a
would do with.
normal conversation.
Was this unseen voice either correcting us or adding to the conversation by reminding us that they're spirits after we mentioned how we're just having a casual conversation with a family?
You're in a home with family, talking.
Yeah.
That's like what we're doing. We're talking about cereal. Yeah.
I have a question. Do you know who Mike is, right? No, Mike, I'm sorry. You know who Nick is, right? See ya.
I thought it said Nick, like a question.
You know Nick? Do you know what Nick's favorite snack was that I can tell him? We have his phone number. I want to send it to him. Fruit Loops.
That 100% sounded like Fruit Loops.
Did it sound like Fruit Loops?
Would it be
Why
weird?
are we talking about cereal so much, though?
Because he said Cheerios. Cheerios.
I said favorite snack, and now is this our biased confirmation saying Fruit Loops? But that sounded like Fruit Loops.
It sounded like Fruit Loops.
Did you say Fruit Loops? Can you say fact on that device if his favorite snack is Fruit Loops? That one I heard, yes.
Did it just say fact through the spirit
It
box?
said fact.
You gotta text him. Just ask him what his favorite cereal is. The odd question, but what's your favorite cereal?
Are you setting us up to look dumb?
Be careful when investigating that you don't trail too far off due to a biased confirmation. Even though we confidently can say that the spirit mentioned a cereal before,
Cheerios?
doesn't necessarily mean that the conversation will stay that way throughout the session, as seen here.
Do you know what Nick's favorite snack was? Fruit Loops.
We both thought that the voice could have said Fruit Loops, but after review, it clearly did not. We text the owner Nick to hopefully clarify this conversation.
What?
He said, ha 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 ha. I texted him. I said the only reason I was asking was because we got a very clear Cheerios and Honey Roast. Thought that was weird. He said Honey Roast is good stuff. Mom used to buy it all the time.
Holy cow, dude. That's freaking hilarious.
Keep in mind with family hauntings, you won't gather the same responses as you would at an abandoned hospital, for example. Where an abandoned hospital, you may gather residual energy relevant to doctors and such. Here it wouldn't be odd at all to capture voices regarding just everyday objects. In this case, Nick clarified that Honey Nut Cheerios were a common household food in the pantry. Could this be why we captured a man's voice speaking about them?
Nick.
Because you're texting him.
It is absolutely incredible that in this family home we capture both the names of stepfather and son. Is this actually Nick's stepfather Don coming in to talk to us and address Nick?
All right. Got some more questions about Cheerios. Were Cheerios in this house a lot?
Yes! Sorry, I got excited. Sorry for raising my voice.
He got excited. I think he said, I can effing hear you. I don't know for sure, but it sounded like. He got excited. He got excited.
Did Nick's mom bring the Cheerios? Is she the one that usually bought them?
You hear that?
Yeah,
Is that what that was?
I think so. Absolutely loving this conversation with you right now. Usually when we communicate with spirits and other beings, it's usually not a fun time.
Project level. That's weird that that's going off right when this went off. This hasn't said anything.
It's usually kind of scary, but this has been very enjoyable, and I thank you so much.
My ear hurts.
Ear?
Yeah.
Feel?
Yeah.
You feeling Kyle's ear? Ooh.
It aches.
Who's touching Kyle? Do you know our names? Just,
Stop it. I kind of got the heebie-jeebies there at the end, though.
really? Mm-hmm. Why?
I don't know. Because at the end of the day, we're just communicating with spirits, and you can only have so much comfort level when you're doing that. Because you can't see them. It's not like, you know, it's almost like I'm talking to like just you and me, but I don't know where the other person is. I can't see their lips, and I don't know when a voice is gonna come over. And that's just that mystery. Like, ooh, when's it gonna say something? You know?
Right. It's the unpredictability.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable.
Following a successful first session, we decide to go upstairs in search of a Carolyn after receiving a capture that we had on our Obelisk 3, which said, Carol. We messaged Nick and he said that there was a Carolyn upstairs, so we couldn't ignore this due to the multiple relevant names we captured so far.
Carolyn, if you're here, can you touch this?
Flower.
Like, what kind? Like a smelly flower? Like a plant?
There's a flower painting down the hallway. Are you talking about that?
You're right. Guys here.
Upon entering the second floor, we capture yet another relevant word on the Obelisk 3,
Flower.
which seems to be referencing this flower painting.
What?
Almost walked into this room. It's the stairs. I can't see any. All right, just for context.
Oh my god, that is freaking dark when you look that
Just-
way.
There's my eyes. I go to turn into this room, and luckily I looked with my camera.
Are you down here, Carolyn? This is supposedly where Bree saw the elemental in her reflection.
I walked in and I've got my tripod up, we're live, and I see in the reflection of the window from my light on my tripod, I can see this little dude like hanging on my back, like I'm giving him a piggyback ride.
Is that what she said it was? The elemental?
Yeah.
Are you the elemental?
You hear that?
Was that outside?
You hear that? You hear that? Can you make that noise again? Hello?
Whoa, 0.4. And battery's draining.
Really?
0.4 battery says something about the battery with an X on it. I think that's the battery sign. 0.1
Yeah, that's the battery dying.
on the left hand, where it has the battery with the X.
Uh-huh.
That's weird.
She was saying how they like to drain your battery.
It didn't have it. I look down and I see a 0.4. It's at a 0.2. You come closer.
Remarkably, just in front of the flower painting, we capture a presence on our millimeter, and at the exact same time the device indicates that the battery was almost depleted.
Whoa, 0.4. And battery's draining.
Really?
Why is it at 66.6 degrees?
Is it really?
It was. I looked down, it's at 66.6. What was it before? 50?
50?
No. 60. 65 even, maybe? 67 now? It is warmer. No, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say that was a coincidental, it has to hit that temperature at some point if it's climbing up by 0.1, but we're still at a 0.2 milligal reading.
We attempt to contact whatever our millimeter is detecting by using the Paranormal Spirit Box.
Are you able to touch that green light? Can you help us out by doing that?
I tried to find it.
Do you need help? You need me to help you?
Is that difficult to make go off? This is us.
After the end of session 2, we take a moment to live stream on our TikTok page. But after 2 full sessions, one in the basement and another in the portal room, it was relatively quiet with the exception of these moments.
Can you step away? Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why the REM pod went off once and then never again. It just happens like that. Were you the one who touched that light?
Did not.
That was a quick response.
We continue our investigation by setting up an experiment using our laser grid GS2, a device that utilizes a radar to sense temperature changes within the grid, a K2 and REM pod to measure EMF changes, and our XLS camera, which can sense spiritual apparitions by using its LiDAR technology.
Any spirit in this house, we invite you to come into this room. We have a lot of stuff. It'll be a unique way for us all to communicate with each other. I doubt anyone you've seen has done something quite like this. This will allow us to be able to see you. Can you come into this room?
Dude, I just heard something back here.
Was it a low thud?
No, it was the floorboard creaking.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe they're coming in.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a cold spot.
Where? Because I just got an orb go right up into that mantle.
Yeah, there was I didn't get it on my camera, but I saw it with my eye. There was a cold spot. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's like left, top left.
That's where this orb flew. Deadass. Can you show yourself? Can you manifest yourself? Use all the power you can.
Can you touch one of the lights? Either the green one or the 2 balls? Oh my goodness! Can you touch one of the lights? Either the green one or the 2 balls? Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Sorry.
Awesome.
Sorry, I know you don't like loud reactions.
Good job. That was awesome. Thank you.
Holy dude, that was the spirit that came in.
Probably. We heard the creep, we got a blue spot, we got it right where that blue spot is where that REM pod is too.
You get something? Oh, that's
Nice job.
That's incredible. Thank you so much.
Now, are you able to move forward towards the fireplace at all? You can raise that up.
Oh my gosh.
It's going off now.
Can you get, oh,
Blue.
wow, that's up to blue. Can you step away real quick, please?
Yep, come closer to us. Oh, did you hear a creak over there? You didn't hear that creak on the fireplace? Look at that, look at that. Are you seeing that on here?
Yeah, dude.
The reason why we set up these elaborate experiments is to hopefully further document proof of the paranormal by getting multiple independent pieces of scientific equipment to co-align with each other. This not only helps narrow down any explainable reasons for the capture, but also validates the accuracy of the equipment.
See, we got one little blip on the grid here.
Blue?
Yep.
No reason for it to be blue.
Can you touch, oh!
What was that?
There was the K2 meter. As soon as I zoomed in on it, it went up to freaking red.
It went up to red.
I swear to God.
Did you do that? Can you do it again if that was you? That went up to red?
It went to red, dude, as soon as I zoomed all the way in. Because this was going blue, so I was like, all right, I'm going.
Oh, so you zoomed in right where that blue dot is. Whoa.
It's always heartbreaking when we see an amazing capture with our own eyes but fail to capture it on camera. In this instance, though, it's very satisfying that as soon as Jack focuses on the K2 meter, it spikes up to orange for the first time this session.
Can you touch, oh!
What was that?
There was the K2 meter.
I didn't think that was gonna go off.
It did, dude. I didn't think it did either. I'm sorry if I freaked out. I was just really excited.
Yeah, none of our reactions are meant to be disrespectful. If you find our large reactions to be disrespectful, can you make anything in front of us go off? If you find it to be disrespectful?
Eyes.
Okay, ready? Look at the mantle.
2. Is that you?
Stained.
I'm coming closer. Is that all right? Is that you?
Can you show yourself next to Jack? See how he's popping up?
Are you up here?
Do you ever have kids?
Desire. Maybe?
Desire.
Something else?
Carolyn, are you here? Can you touch that light again?
No.
Are you annoyed with that?
Sure enough.
Sure enough. Is it because you've done it multiple times at this point?
As we're setting up, we were instantly spooked by what we thought was the door opening by itself.
God, dark.
Yes. Why did it get so dark?
Yeah, what the heck?
What the hell? Did you close that door?
Yeah, dude. Dude, did you not hear it click?
It's clear that Jack didn't fully latch the door and it simply just swung back open.
Oh, that's not what I want.
What? My heart sank when I looked at that door, dude.
The camera was rolling.
Huh?
At least the camera was rolling. You'll be able to hear the click, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even hear it open.
No.
No creaking, no nothing. It was just open. All right, so we're doing Hinsdale method. That's what we like to call it. We're down in the living room. Puck is upstairs, right in the middle of the hallway, as you can see with the other camera. We also have a K2 up there, just in case we have some simultaneous EMF going on with the Puck 2.
And we got the new.
With us?
Give it a second. One more second. There he
We have a
goes.
strong battery in that one.
Yes. And we originally had the camera in that corner, but now it's in this corner because that door opened after I shut it.
Yeah.
So
It is 3:19.
wow. It's a witching hour and the door opened.
Very interesting. Did someone open the door? No response.
Ain't gonna answer that one.
Do you know who Dawn is?
Peter. Period.
Who's Peter?
Who is Peter?
Cotton. Resent.
Peter Cottontail.
Peter Cottontail. He was a rabbit.
I know, but like it's almost Easter time.
Peter Cotton Resent.
Resent Peter Cottontail.
I can't stand that guy. Alright.
Dude cannot. Maybe he doesn't like Easter.
Hop. Crossover.
Wait. What'd that say?
Hop crossover. I didn't ask a question.
That's weird.
You know, we always talk about like trying to find out what it wants to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Spot.
Crossover spot. Where would the crossover spot of this house be?
The back room.
Yield. Cement.
It also comes from the basement.
Many times when doing this kind of session, we need to figure out what the spirit wants to tell us. Is this a traveler who used the vortex to cross over to the home?
Where do we go next?
Anomalies. In.
Huh.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
In the portal.
7.
The number 7.
7 anomalies in the portal.
Oh. Are there 7 of them?
Meet.
Meet 'em. Ask it basement or back room or something.
Basement or bedroom? No
response.
I'm thinking the bedroom.
I mean, we can just continue what we're doing and just go straight in there.
Take that, the thing.
The obelisk?
Yeah, and should we take something else? Just grab.
We'll just take that
Just
with
take
us.
that. Take a camera with us.
What was that?
Not me.
Was that downstairs?
That was downstairs.
Even though signs point towards the basement, we decide to shift the session over to the bedroom.
All right, we'll just go to the bedroom because it's obviously telling us where to go.
I feel uneasy.
I don't like it either. Oh, that balloon scared me, I ain't gonna lie.
Yep.
All right, we're here. Back to the corners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get beside.
Get beside. You gotta get beside me.
It's right here.
You hear that? Now what?
Then.
What?
Alright. We are. Get beside. He said get beside them.
No. Did you just hear that?
Yeah, I did.
The.
At this moment, the K2 device actually triggers at the same time that we gather the response, signifying that a spirit is standing near the puck device. Coincidentally, Jack also hears a distant humming, which doesn't seem to be picked up on our camera's audio.
Okay, no, that was the furnace.
That,
It was like.
that was the furnace, right?
Mm-mm.
You heard that? Not the furnace, though? Oh, so was it the furnace?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. He said get beside the spirits. Get beside them.
Miss.
Miss.
Is it because I'm not on it? There.
Cellar.
Oh.
7.
Again.
Again, downstairs there's 7.
Downstairs. All right, let's go downstairs. Let me switch my battery out before we go down.
Once again, we're gathering information to go back to the basement. Perhaps this is what the spirit was trying to say by giving us words like miss, and why we heard loud thumps from downstairs. This is also the second time that we documented the number 7 and a word related to the basement of the building.
Oh.
7.
Again.
Again, downstairs there's 7.
Downstairs.
Keep in mind there are potentially 2 portals in this home, one in the bedroom and the other in the basement. We finally moved to the basement to communicate and meet these spirits.
How many spirits are here? A lot.
A lot.
Did you hear that?
Those rotten.
Are there 7?
How many are down here?
Isn't that big thing?
There's someone here. That has to be a ghost.
We didn't lock the door.
was a ghost. What's up?
Sometimes when investigating, certain noises seem to be so clear that it brings you back into reality on the situation. In this instance, we were interrupted during our spirit box session by loud footsteps, which are captured very clearly on our camera upstairs. And we actually thought that someone was in the house with us.
There's someone here.
After looking through the house, we stood in shock by accepting that it was caused by an unseen entity. There's of course a lot of skepticism when it comes to anything paranormal, but the most gathered spot in most homes would be the living room, and that's also the place where we captured most of the evidence of the night. We go back downstairs for about 30 minutes and only captured these two relevant responses.
Where do we go when we die?
Rest.
We rest.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Where is Dawn now?
Spirits. Oh.
With all the spirits.
It's with all the spirits.
Even though the two vortex rooms are in the basement and the bedroom, evidence shows that where the main spot on where the spirits of the state house reside remains back in that living room.